always accumulator and result will be stored in the accumulator. Note that in multiplication instruction, one of the operand is always accumulator and result will be stored in the accumulator. So if we execute MUL BL instruction, what will happen? So here only one operand is there. Second operand only one operand is there. Second operand will be AL. Corresponding to BL, the second operand will be AL. So AL and BL both are 8-bit registers, and if we multiply both, the result will be 16-bit register. So MUL BL instruction result will be 16-bit. So this will be stored in the 16-bit register, that is AX. So MUL BL, after the execution of MUL BL, the result will be stored in AX register, and it will be multiplication of AL and BL. Similarly, if we perform MUL CX, the content of CX will be multiplied to AX and result will be stored in AX register. IMUL instruction is quite similar to MUL instruction, but the difference is that here we have to consider the polarity of the numbers in the registers. Here also the one of the operand is accumulator, so we multiply the content of given register with the content of accumulator, and the result will be stored in the accumulator. Here we have to show always the polarity of the numbers given. Similarly, division instruction is there. The format of division instruction is also similar. There are two division instructions, signed and unsigned division. DIV is instruction for unsigned division and IDIV instruction for signed division. So if we execute DIV instruction, so it will divide the content of accumulator by the content of 8-bit or 16-bit operand given in the instruction. So DIV CL instruction perform the operation of division. Here it will divide the content of AL by content of CL, and result will be stored in AL. And if we execute IDIV, then we have to consider the sign of the numbers also. Okay. Now we move on logical instruction. In logical instructions, we have to mention AND, OR, and XOR and NOT instructions. AND, OR, XOR, and NOT instructions. So what will happen here? So first we will discuss about AND instruction. The format of this instruction is AND destination comma source, and destination comma source. So again, it is very simple. Here the content of source and destinations are ANDed, multiplied, and the result will be stored in the destination. For example, we are considering that in AL 93H is there and in BL 75H is there. So we have to perform AND AL comma BL, AND BL comma AL. So what will happen? So we have to AND content of BL and AL, and the result will be stored in BL. Okay, as the result will always be stored in destination register. Similarly, OR instruction is there. The format is similar. OR destination comma source, the result will be stored in the destination. In a similar way, XOR instruction is there. Format is similar. XOR destination comma source. So it will XOR the content of source and destination, and result will be stored in the destination. Last instruction is NOT instruction. NOT instruction is used to give the ones complement of a number. It is used to give ones complement of a number. Suppose that we are considering content of AL is 73H, then not AL will complement the content of AL. 73H in binary is represented as 0 1 1 1 0 0 1 1. So if we take ones complement, it will become 1 0 0 0 and 1 1 0 0. That is 8C. So when we execute not AL instruction, the content of AL become 8CH. Okay, students. Now we will move on the different categories of instruction, that is branching or program control or transfer instruction. Program control transfer instructions. So there are two categories of branching instruction: conditional branching instructions and unconditional branching instructions. In unconditional branching instruction, we will discuss about call instruction, return instruction, and unconditional jump instructions. What is the use of call and return instruction? Call instruction is used to call any subroutine program. without any condition. It is unconditional instruction. So suppose that a main program is being executed and an interrupt arrives. So when an interrupt arrives, microprocessor has to shift the program control to an alternate location. So for that purpose, we have to call the subroutine. We have to execute call instruction, and call instruction shift the program control to the alternate location. Okay. So along with call instruction, we have to mention the address of the location where the program control is to be shifted. Okay. Along with call instruction, there must always be a return instruction. So after the execution of the subroutine program, the program control has to return back to the main program. For that purpose, at the end of the subroutine, there must be return instruction. Okay. Now, third unconditional instruction is jump instruction. It transfers the program control to a memory location mentioned along with the jump instruction, and it is unconditional jump instruction. Now we will discuss some conditional branching instruction, where we have to discuss about the conditional jump instruction. In conditional jump instruction, program control is shifted to the given memory location according to the given condition. According to given condition, and these conditions are generally mentioned in form of status of different flags. Suppose that JZ, we execute JZ here, JZ here. In this instruction, here mention the location where we have to jump. But what is the condition? The condition is that if 0 flag is set, then we have to jump at a location here. Or in the second instruction, JO back, what will happen? If overflow flag is set, then we have to jump at a location which is represented by back. Okay. Now we will move on next category of the instruction, that is called string manipulation instructions. What is a string? A string is a set of byte or words, is a group of byte or words, and string instructions are used for serial data transfer. So there are some string instructions which will be used in 8086. First category is moves B or moves W. Here, what is the meaning of moves? MOVS. Here S represent string. MOVS B, in MOVS B, B is used for byte, and in MOUS W is used for word. So these instructions are used to copy the byte or word from the memory location in the data segment to the memory location in the extra segment. Do you understand it? I say that this instruction is used to copy a byte or a word from the memory location in the data segment to a memory location in the extra segment. So this instruction is used to transfer the content of data segment to extra segment. Used to transfer the content of data segment or extra segment. So here the data may be 1 byte or 1 word, that is 8 bit or 16 bit. So here the source register is in source index register. Is in source index. Why source index? Because in data segment, which location is to be selected? The location is selected whose offset address is given in the source index register. When we copy the content of data segment to extra segment, so we have to select one location of a data segment. So that location of data segment will be given by the offset address mentioned in the instruction itself. So that offset address is part of source index, as the data offset address of the data segment is in source index register. Similarly, offset address of the extra segment will be given in the destination index register. Okay, so the destination where we have to transfer the data, the address of the destination location will be given in the destination index register. So in simple way, you can say that this instruction is used to transfer the content of data segment register into extra segment register. Not register, but it is used to transfer the content of data segment into extra segment whose addresses are mentioned in the data segment source index register as well as destination index registers. Next, I am going to discuss another string manipulation instruction, that is LODS, LODSB and LODSW. These instructions are used to load a string in form of byte or a word. LODS means load a string, LODSB means a load a string which is a byte, or LODSW means load a string which is a word. So this instruction load the byte or word of a string memory location pointed out by the source index register into AL or AX register. Do you understand it? This instruction is used to load accumulator. This instruction is used to load accumulator. What is the content which is to be loaded in the accumulator? The content is given in the data segment. The content is given in the data segment, and the data segment's address can be obtained by offset address mentioned in the source index register. Offset address mentioned in the source index register. Okay. So if we have to transfer 8-bit data, then it will be transferred into register AL, and if we have to transfer 16-bit data, that is a word, then it will be transferred to register AX. Okay. So this instruction is used to transfer a byte or a word from a memory location pointed out by the source index register into accumulator. If one byte is transferred, then it will be transferred to AL, and if a word is transferred, then it will be transferred into AX. Opposite to this instruction is STOS instruction. Load and store are just opposite instruction. If you recall the instructions in 8085, there are two instructions, LDA and STA. LDA instruction, along with LDA instruction, we mentioned 16-bit address. The LDA instruction copy the content of 16-bit address to accumulator. It will load the accumulator with the content of the 16-bit address given. And STA instruction transfers the content of accumulator to a memory location mentioned. Here quite similar is the case. STOS instruction or STOSB instruction or STOSW instruction copy 8-bit or 16-bit data from the accumulator to a pointed memory location in the data segment. Pointed memory location in the data segment. If 8-bit data is to be transferred, then it will be transferred from AL, and if 16-bit data is to be transferred, then it will be transferred from AX. Okay. Now we will move on flag manipulation of instructions. Here flag manipulation instructions, these instructions are dependent mainly on the status of different flags. So these instructions are used to set or clear the status of flags like CLC, STC, CMC, CLD, STT, CLI, STI. CLC instruction is used to clear carry flag. STC instruction is used to set carry flag. CMC instruction is used to complement carry flag. CLD is used to clear direction flag. STD is used to set direction flag, and CLI instruction is used to clear interrupt flag. STI instruction is used to set interrupt flag. So these instructions are used to set or clear different flags available in the 8086. Now the last category of the instruction is machine control instruction. Here are few instructions: halt, NOP, lock, wait, and ESP, that is escape. So we know about halt instruction, we have used in 8085. Also, NOP instruction is also used in 8085. It is no operation. It is used for generation of delay in 8085. Lock instruction is used to lock the bus, both address and data buses. Wait instruction is used for test pin. It is used to communicate with the slower peripheral devices. And escape instruction is used for escape purpose. Suppose that we have to skip any operation, then we will use this instruction. So this is overall instruction set of 8086 which I have discussed here. I think it will be clear to you. Thank you.